Just as we thought that the Donald Trump-Elon Musk civil war couldn't possibly get any crazier, it was just blown open with the biggest bombshell of their entire feud. Of course, I'm talking about Elon Musk's accusation that Donald Trump was in the Epstein files. And as Elon Musk continues to attack Donald Trump and make some very ominous threats, Trump's administration has responded with their own shock report about Epstein, which exposes the lies that Trump has been telling us all along. We are going to get into it and how it relates to Elon in this complete mess. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting what we're doing here. Now, before we can get into this breaking news out of the Trump administration, we first have to start with the lies they've been telling us leading up to this moment.
A man who, according to Trump in a 2002 interview, likes beautiful women as much as I do, many of them are on the younger side. A man who died by suicide in a federal prison in Donald Trump's administration under the aegis of William Barr's Department of Justice. And yet Epstein's reported sex trafficking was seized on by the right wing, spun into a conspiracy theory about the perfidy of liberal politicians like Hillary Clinton and global elites like Bill Gates. Now, it took off partly because Epstein really did have this insane range of contacts with rich and influential people. But spinning Epstein's crimes into a vast left-wing conspiracy always required selective memories and crazy contortions. So much so that when Donald Trump's Department of Justice hyped up its dump of documents on the Epstein case in February, remember that? Even inviting some far-right influencers to the White House to pick up the files in great big binders before anyone else got it. Those influencers were disappointed and angered to find nothing new. Certainly no evidence to back up their outlandish theories about who Epstein consorted with and how he died. And suddenly, the same Trump officials who had once trafficked in Epstein conspiracy theories were flailing to convince the MAGA faithful that the conspiracies were wrong all along.
The problem is there's been like 15 years of people coming in and creating fictions about this that doesn't exist. Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? If there was a video and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
For the longest time, Donald Trump and the stooges around him, it has been the fascination of MAGA to push conspiracy theories about Jeffrey Epstein, saying that he was best friends with Joe Biden or Barack Obama when he's on tape saying that him and Trump were best buddies for decades. And now that Donald Trump is in office, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi are trying to play down reports they couldn't stop talking about on the campaign trail. As we saw there, and Chris Hayes detailed, Kash Patel was so willing to quickly shut down conspiracies he's pushed for so long. Of course, that was blown up by Elon Musk. And before we get to what the Trump administration is now saying, which exposes their lies, we have to start with the reason they're taking action, and it's because of Elon's latest threat. Old pal of Elon Musk has ominous warning for Donald Trump. The neuroscientist, whose company was partly bankrolled by Elon Musk, gave Trump a shocking heads up on what the president can expect from the tech mogul in the future. An old pal of Elon Musk said the tech mogul will relentlessly attempt to hurt Donald Trump. I've had my share of blowouts with Elon over the years, neuroscientist Philip Lowell told Politico in an article posted Sunday. Knowing Elon the way I know him, I do think he's going to do everything to damage the president. This comes as Elon recently wrote on Twitter, "So tempting to escalate this," speaking of Trump, so tempting, but I will refrain for now. Now, that refraining from Elon was posted on July 1st. They are now completely butting heads once again and going after each other. So it's no surprise that Donald Trump's trying to cover all of his bases. That includes saying that Elon, probably rightfully so, is only mad about Trump's budget because it doesn't give him all the subsidies he asked for, blaming electric vehicle mandates, and now trying to cover up the bombshell accusation that Elon made about the Epstein report and how Trump relates to it. And so he's responding, specifically Pam Bondi, with this shocking breaking news. Exclusive. DOJ, FBI conclude Epstein had no client list and took his own life. Donald Trump's Justice Department and FBI have concluded they have no evidence that Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client list, or was murdered, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. The administration is releasing video in both raw and enhanced versions that it says indicates no one entered the area of the Manhattan prison where Epstein was held the night he died in 2019. The video supports a medical examiner's findings that Epstein took his own life, the two-page memo claims. Why it matters. The findings represent the first time Trump's administration has officially contradicted conspiracy theories about Epstein's activities and his death, theories that have been pushed by the FBI's two top officials before Trump appointed them to the Bureau. As social media influencers and activists Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were among those in MAGA world who questioned the official version of how Epstein died. Patel and Bongino have since said Epstein took his own life, but it has become an article of faith online, especially on the right, that Epstein's crimes also implicated government officials, celebrities, and business leaders, and that someone took his life to conceal them. The memo says no one else was involved in the Epstein case will be charged. Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, is serving a 20-year sentence for her crimes as well. So why does this matter except for the fact that Donald Trump and his stooges have been lying the whole time? Well, my opinion is that Donald Trump is using this as an opportunity to try to cover his ass in the wake of Elon's accusation, also because Elon is now furious with him again. And if you think that's a conspiracy from me, just listen to what Pam Bondi had to say about the Epstein list she purported to have, running completely contrary to this new report.
You know, I saw your appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz, and one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
So either Pam Bondi was lying then, or the Trump administration is lying now. Either way, they were playing politics with a case involving a man who destroyed the lives of countless people, including children. They were making jokes, they were making mockery, they were making conspiracies out of this devastating, devastating case. So either they were lying then to play political games, or they're lying now to cover Donald Trump as Elon Musk goes after him once again. Now, I have no knowledge of what Elon knows about any purported Epstein list, aside from the claims that he made while he was in the government, saying that Donald Trump was on it, Donald Trump was involved. Of course, we've seen the photos of Trump and Elon and Ghislaine Maxwell and Trump and Epstein. We know these people were running in the same circles. To what degree? Of course, that would be an information that Donald Trump's administration wants to conceal from us. But either way, this is a disgusting embarrassment. Politics have been played with this situation by the Trump administration, and it is shameful what they have done. In my opinion, it's a big cover-up. Donald Trump was president in 2019. He knew the guy. They were friends. Epstein admitted it. That's all I'm going to say. And do you know what? As Republicans like to say, I think it's okay that we're just asking questions, because we actually are. Every statement that they've made is so contradictory, we don't know the truth. All we know is Donald Trump clearly wants to hide. We get no answers from Trump or Elon. Remember the Doge subcommittee? Yeah, where's Elon been on that? Where's his testimony? Well, that was the question being asked by Jasmine Crockett, and a call out of Elon that I think is very, very timely, especially today.
Never actually been elected to the Oval Office and actually answering more questions than the person that allegedly got elected. But for whatever reason, this is the first time we're having a Doge subcommittee hearing, and that guy's not here. Instead, we have y'all. So I do want to thank you for coming. But I will say this. It's also interesting to me that in the first few days of Doge existing, we know that They are trying to get rid of the Department of Education, USAID, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They're laying off FAA workers. They are going after the FDA, the CDC, the HHS, the FBI agents, and they're talking about getting rid of FEMA. And they brought y'all in. And I am going to say that I actually was shocked that there was only one person that seemed like he was an overt Trumper as you laid out your opening remarks, because I anticipated that at least one of y'all would say, yes, what Elon is doing is exactly what we would prescribe. But instead, I will applaud you because you actually were focused. You talked about what the American people are looking for us to do. We've actually consistently on this side of the aisle promoted this idea of making investments into technology so that we can do things such as, say, look at the Department of Defense. The Department of Defense that takes up approximately, 50% of our discretionary income. Or our discretionary spending, approximately 50% goes to Department of Defense. Department of Defense has not been able to pass an audit in the last 6 audits, and we're not talking about pennies. I understand that we want everything to be perfect, and if we could get all waste, fraud, and abuse out, that would be fantastic. But let me talk about the big numbers. The big numbers are on that side. When we look at, say, our entire workforce, our federal workforce, as we're trying to somehow fire all of them, they don't even make up a total of 5%. It's even less than that when we look at our budget. But let's talk about defense. That just happens to be the same side of the ledger that Mr. Musk gets the vast majority of his money from. In fact, at the same time that they were unlawfully, and we will stay in court, because on this side, we believe in law and order. We believe in, a number of us are actually lawyers, but nevertheless, we understand the Constitution. We believe in that as well. And so there's things such as, impoundment, right? Because as Mr. Whitson said, he said, we need to return the power of the purse to Congress. It never left. According to the Constitution, that's where it's at. Now, I know that people are confused right now because for whatever reason, we had a guy that went in, and you talk about people invading our data. Listen, people said that they were upset about TikTok, but I'm upset about the guy that runs Twitter, who for sure is doing nefarious things, because I don't understand, if you are trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come in and do forensic audits. In fact, he sat there in the Oval Office yesterday and he admitted that he was lying, and he was using his propaganda machine to do it when he said that we sent millions of dollars to Gaza for condoms. That was a lie. So let me tell you something.
The gentlelady's time has expired.
It is time for
the
us
gentlelady's
to do our
time has
job
expired.
and rein in this rogue actor known
The gentlelady's
as Elon
time
Musk.
has expired.
Now, I'm very happy to see Elon Musk causing problems for Donald Trump, but don't you even start to believe. Don't even start to believe. You think I'm going to let him off the hook for the damage that he has done to this country. We are going to continue to call it out because we've seen its real tangible effects. And if you want to support that and the work we're doing here, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.